Hello everyone, I'm Andrea from Andrea Flipping Unique. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, thanks for joining. So I was working outside one day and I had the absolute sweetest neighbor stop by who I had never met prior to this, and she asked me if I knew how to fix veneer. She explained to me that she had a few pieces where the veneer was chipped off, so thinking it was going to be a quick fix, I said of course I would help her out. This nightstand was one of those pieces that she dropped off to me, and my jaw hit the floor. As you can see, it's got a little bit more going on than just a few chipped pieces of veneer. But since she was so nice and I'm always up for a good challenge, I still took it on. So continue watching to see if I can save this nightstand. I started off by giving everything a really good cleaning and removing the drawers and just kind of assessing what sort of damage was really going on with this. The veneer on the drawer fronts were actually in pretty good condition. There were a few little chips missing in the corners, but most of the damage was on the body itself. Thankfully, it was all cosmetic damage, so I would be able to fix everything. After everything was cleaned, I then started to remove the finish, and I did that by starting out with my carbide scraper. These old finishes can be very brittle and basically turn into powder when you start scraping. So one important thing I want to mention is to please make sure that you're wearing a mask when you're using your carbide scraper. After removing the majority of the finish with my scraper, I then went back in with my orbital sander and used 120, 150, and 180 grit sandpaper. The veneer on the top of this thing was pretty thick, so I was able to sand away the stains and not have to worry about burning through it. After the body was sanded, I did go ahead and start to glue down all of this loose veneer. I didn't have a way to clamp this section of it, so I did use painter's tape to hold everything in place. The veneer on the side of this base did come off due to some water damage, but I was able to salvage the veneer itself and peel it off from the piece of wood that it was attached to. I re-glued the whole thing back to the substrate and held it down with some painter's tape and then put a piece of scrap wood over it and clamped it down to make sure it was really secure. I also filled in any of the missing veneer with wood putty, and then when it was dry, I sanded it down. I did end up having to do 2 applications on this section because for whatever reason that little chunk fell off. Some of the edge banding was completely missing and a lot of it was missing some big chunks, so I decided to remove it all completely and just add some new ones. My client chose the color Rich Caramel from the We Refinish line. She wanted to still be able to see the different tones in the wood grain, so because these stains are really pigmented, I thinned it out a bit with their clear stain base. After my stain was fully dried, I did go ahead and add a coat of top coat. That way I could color match to the correct color. I also made some cut marks in the wood putty using an X-Acto knife. That way when I put my repair paste on top, it would settle into those marks and look like the grain from the veneer. Depending on how much of the repair paste that I use, sometimes these lines do get filled in, so I'll have to go in afterwards and do it again on top. This section right here did take me about 22 to 25 minutes to fully color match it, so I'm going to speed through the whole thing so that you can watch it and not have to sit here forever. I want to apologize first for this clip being sideways. I thought I was filming in the other direction. But when I have repairs that are this big and I color match them, I do like to add a toner over them because it does blend in everything a little bit better. So what I do is, because my stain is water-based, I add it into my water-based top coat and I just apply it as normal. You can also do this if you have oil-based stain. Just make sure that your top coat is oil-based. On this piece, I did end up doing just one coat of toner and I did it on all areas of the piece. Sometimes I will do more depending if I'm trying to match two different wood species together or if it just needs a little bit more toning. After this coat had dried, I did go back in and do 2 more coats of my clear coat, and then I sanded everything with 2000 grit sandpaper. One of the other things that I did, but I forgot to film, is I actually went and stained the dovetails because the wood was not the best quality wood and I wanted everything to look really nice. And then the last thing I did was went in with some wood balm from Arlington Woodworks and I rehydrated all of the drawers and I also put it on the drawer slides. If you haven't seen this wood balm yet, it's made from 3 ingredients, which are beeswax, flaxseed oil, and citrus. It is also food safe and it comes in a glass container, so it's eco-friendly. Before I show you what the nightstand looks like now, I wanted to remind you of what it looked like before. And if you want to see more furniture flips, restorations, and the occasional DIY, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And here's what it looks like now. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. Repairing this nightstand did take a lot of my time and some of my patience. However, seeing the look on my client's face when she saw it for the first time was completely worth it to me. Now, don't get it wrong, I love painting furniture as well. But I'm hoping that this inspired you a little bit to maybe challenge yourself to refinish a piece of furniture without having to paint it. So like always, thank you for spending some time with me. Be respectful in my comments, and I'll talk to y'all soon.